Hey guys, this is Two Finger here. I'm just cleaning out my 2 containers for a garden this year. My daughter's going to be planting carrots in this one, and I'm going to be planting some strawberries in this one. I cleaned out all of this trash and old weeds out of there, and I'm going to redo some of the soil. I've got some compost that I've already put on top of that. I'm going to put a little more, and then I'm going to mix some in with this. Put a little bone meal and blood meal in there and see if we can't get it ready to plant. Okay, so I've got some compost here. I'm going to top these beds off with it after I've cleaned everything out. Some good organic compost I got at my local dirt dealer, if you will. Break it all up. Nice black dirt. Okay, now I've got some of this high yield blood and bone meal that I'm going to add a couple cups to each bed with. Adds lots of nitrogen and phosphate back to the soil. Good for all your vegetables and flowers. Doesn't take much though. That'll probably be enough. And I'll have enough left over for my larger bed and my other containers that I'll make later. Okay, now that I got the bone and blood meal on there, I'm going to mix it all into the soil. Just going to stir it in for now. Done. I'll moisten it down a little bit for the next couple of weeks until I get everything ready to plant once the frost is gone. As I said, I'm going to put strawberries over here. My daughter wants to plant carrots here in this smaller one. It's plenty deep enough. And then when I plant the strawberries, I'll put some good mulch around them and maybe some straw to keep them nice and warm. Alright, on this part, this is my 4x12 raised garden with the trellis at one end of it. I'm going to move this trellis around back to this side. That's facing south, so the sun will be coming up over there. I'll grow my tomatoes and a cucumber plant up that trellis. It'll be on the back side, that way nothing gets shaded from the sun that's in front of it. Okay, I've got it moved around now. I'm going to finish screwing the base along there to get it to hold it in place. Put this brace along the side of it to help with the wind. Now that'll help with the wind and the weight of the plants as they grow up. It won't pull it over. Hopefully. Okay, I'm back. My camera died on me, so I had to plug it up, but now I'm here in my garage. And what I plan to do now is take these buckets and I'm going to cut them down about halfway and use these as small containers to grow some herbs in. I don't need the full bucket to grow some herbs in, so I'll probably cut them down to probably 8 or 9 inches, probably 8. There should be plenty of room for the roots to grow in, and I can grow my herbs in these small containers and not have to put them in the full-size bed. Alright, I've got all these buckets. I've decided to cut them down to 8 inches. So that's what I'm going to do now is get them marked out. I get all these buckets from where I work. They buy lots of nuts and bolts and they come in these buckets. So they just throw them away. And I've got several of them over the years. Used for many different things. I've used them for container gardens before. They work real well. Try to get it as level as I can. No promises. Alright, I've got one side started. I use my jigsaw here. Seems to go really well. This might be kind of loud. Now just eyeball it around the corners. was taking so long to clean these little ledges off, I wanted to find something better, so I found this little piece of aluminum that I had cut in my garage, and it whips that stuff right off. Much faster than my pocket knife, and I don't have to ruin my blade on it. Go. Perfect example of use what you got instead of going to buy something to do it with. Anyway, I'll be back. Alright, I've got all the tops cut off. Got them all trimmed up. And now, I don't want them holding water. I want it to be able to drain, so I'm going to drill some small holes along the bottom on each side of it to allow drainage. You just want your soil to stay moist. You don't want it soaked all the time in case it rains on top of it. So I've got a 3/16 drill bit here, and I'm just going to run a couple holes right at the bottom of each side of it. Okay, so got them all cut down, trimmed, holes drilled in the bottom, and I'm going to fill them with some compost. I've got mushroom compost, and I've got this organic compost I bought today. A couple of these bags were open and a little dry, but it gave them to me with the other. I bought 2 bags, and I got these 2 ripped bags for free, so I couldn't pass that up. It'll be just fine if we just moisten it up later. And I've got some blood and bone meal. So I'm just going to make a nice cocktail for these plants. And I ain't no professional, that's for sure. I'm sure you can tell by my techniques, but hopefully I'll have a good enough garden. I won't have to buy the junk vegetables that's at the grocery stores. You can never get any that's any good. Top. Mushroom compost. Heard it's good to mix different types of compost together, not just go with one. When I get the plants in here, I'll put a little mulch around the top to kind of fill it out, and it'll help keep the weeds from growing in it. But I think it'll work great. Hope so anyway. These are just for herbs. I've got 5 different types of herbs that I'm going to grow. And my raised bed garden, the 2 other containers that I'm going to grow in. So I should have a pretty good mess of fresh vegetables this year, I hope. So anyway, I won't bore you any longer. This is 2 Finger, and we'll see you next time.